Donovan, you brought it up a little bit in the first segment, giving you an opportunity to talk about how you got started with Celsius and how it's evolved.
Yeah, that's right. So I've been doing it for just about 3 years now. The first year I spent in LA, taking care of the LA territory, opening up new accounts, demoing myself, going out, getting people excited to drink Celsius calorie burning energy drink. And I love it. I've had a blast doing it. It was a slow start because nobody really knew about what Celsius is and what it does, and the LA market's so cluttered in general that when I got the opportunity to come down to San Diego and work with the beautiful people over here, I basically did a simple Google search. Like, I typed in gyms or fitness, kind of some keywords on Google, and just looked on the map and I just saw what popped up, and fortunately it just lit up like a Christmas tree essentially. So at that same time, or that week, we were hiring somebody for San Diego. I have family who was moving here, and they were looking for a roommate, and then I got kind of a little bit of a pay increase, and it all happened. It just fell in line one by one by one, and within the same 4 days. So I just made my decision. I made a phone call to the distributor over here, who I said, hey, listen, the guy who's in charge of providing Celsius to all the accounts out here.
Did you really say, hey, listen?
I said, hey, listen, I have a question for you. There's this opportunity to have. What do you think about me moving to San Diego? He goes, it's a no-brainer. No-brainer at all. I did that, I made that decision, I think he said 16 or 18 years ago, and he's been here ever since. And so it's, for me, I'm going on like 2 years, 2.5, and it was the best decision I've ever made. Celsius is growing and growing. My job, like I said, is to get Celsius into as many hands as possible and to make it available in all the different accounts, the health and fitness accounts, the gyms, the grocery stores, all the nutrition places to get like protein and things like that. And as long as I maintain, some positive relationships and keep talking about what Celsius is and does, it's going to continue to grow. So we're really hitting the LA and San Diego market pretty hard within this next coming year.
Right on, man. Well, I wanted to ask you, with so many health drinks on the shelf, or at least drinks that are health, I'll put my fingers up in air quotes, how does Celsius stand apart?
Celsius is the world's first and only calorie-burning energy drink. So this drink is meant to be consumed maybe about 15 minutes before you exercise. And then during your exercise, you're actually going to burn 159 calories on top of anything you do. Some people like to work out a little bit harder than other people. So we say 100 across the board, and that's guaranteed. It's backed by 6 very, very deep university studies that are just clinical studies that proved it. And basically it just put us on the map. I think the state of California, took Celsius to court at one point saying, we don't believe you do exactly what the can says you do, and we're challenging all your claims. And so we did these really deep clinical studies and proved it. So that got dropped, and we've been going hard ever since.
And what I thought was great was on your website, the clinical trials are up. You can read through them. You can look at them. It's not one of those things where you're hiding behind anything either.
Celsius.com absolutely has the most amount of information available. And sometimes I'll reference it every once in a while when I need to get refreshed. And, they're always posting up new stuff. So I like to stay ahead of the game and current with who I'm talking to. And a lot of people have questions.
How long has the company been around?
It's been around since 2006. And since 2006, it's been through a couple changes. We had powder forms, and we had shots at one point. It used to be in a glass bottle. So since then, the marketing has changed, but and some of the flavors have changed, but the ingredients have stayed the same. And it's a winning product.
Yeah, because it just seems like in the last 2 years, you guys just blown up. I mean,
exactly.
I see it everywhere.
Remember I told you I moved here about 2 years ago?
Cha-ching!
That's what I do.
That's awesome. So you guys mentioned before you had powders and other things. Is this the only product that Celsius provides?
So no, we have 5 great flavors. There's 3 carbonated and 2 non-carbonated flavors. And on top of that, we also signed on the rapper Flo Rida, who's Celsius is actually located in the corporate office is in Boca Raton, Florida, and so Flo Rida is big in the health industry, and he has his own brand of powder. It's called Flow Fusion. You can get that at like GNC, and what it is one scoop. It comes in like 40 servings. One scoop equals 1 can of Celsius. You're not going to get the carbonation, but it's going to be the wild berry flavor, and it works just like a can. It's fantastic. You add this to as a pre-workout to your water bottle or whatever, and it does the same exact thing. So the powder is fantastic. You can also get the powder at Ralph's and things like that, but they don't have the Flow Fusion, his specific brand over there. They have just the actual orange flavor, which is just like the orange can, the carbonated orange. Which is available in stick
which is
forms.
what I'm drinking right now. Too.
Yeah, me too. It's fantastic.
That's what we're all drinking, actually.
Yeah, Joey.
Not me.
I was just watching.
Right.
Great stuff, man. In terms of what was the question I wanted to ask you in terms of who can drink it? Can anybody drink this? Does anybody need to consult a doctor or anything like that?
You know what? I would recommend when we'll do like sampling events and tasting events, a lot of kids will come up like, oh, there's free things.
Right.
And usually, I'll ask, hey, are you over 16 or is your parents, with you? But I wouldn't recommend anybody below 16 drink. It's an energy drink. And the cool thing about this energy drink, I mean, it has a lot of caffeine in it. So 200 milligrams of caffeine per can in each can. And there's 10 calories. There's no sugar. Celsius is literally made for people who care about what they're drinking. And it's also made for people who want the energy to be able to just continue their day productively and stuff like that, and also who are health focused.
What about the crash? You always hear with these energy drinks about this crash. You experience that with Celsius?
Yeah, so the crash is because there's no artificial sugar or preservatives or anything. You don't get the crash at the end of the 3 hours. It's just basically clean energy throughout the entire experience of just drinking Celsius. What will happen though is you'll notice yourself getting a little bit hot because it's a thermogenic drink, and as you drink it and you work out, you're going to notice yourself sweating almost twice as much as you normally would sweat. Gets rid of all the toxins. It boosts your metabolism at the same time because it basically gets your body working, and it, on top of it tasting delicious, there's no crash to it. So the people who are drinking it are the people who are working out, the people who are starting their day in the mornings, grabbing it out. Maybe sometimes people don't have time to make coffee or whatever, or go to the coffee store, wherever, and get it. So this is a nice grab and go thing. A lot of times, a lot of my accounts will sell it by the case, and so people will just stack their fridge with cases. I see it on Instagram. People will send me pictures of what their fridge looks like because they picked up like 2 or 3 cases at a time, which is fantastic because they're all, there's 5 flavors. So for me, I make sure I also teach a spin class downtown, and like 3 or 4 days a week. And what I make sure is that the people who take the class that I'm in front of, I'm like, all right, where's your Celsius? Let's get this, because it's an hour of like super high intense workout. And by the time where everybody's done, nobody's shirt is dry. It's just all completely soaked through, and halfway through, I'm like, "Hey, cheers for everybody drinking a Celsius." Everybody raises their hand because they got it on top. They know the deal.
And you mentioned earlier, you can pour powder in for like a pre-workout, or you could drink this as a pre-workout. Is there a certain time of the day when you shouldn't be drinking it after? Kind of like pre-workouts for us. I mean, well, for us, we drink pre-workout at 8 o'clock and then go to sleep. But
yeah.
Still.
Well, you guys are hardcore. For me, like I said, back to my spin class. As long as my spin class is at 5:30 p.m. and I usually take it right there, and it's good for like 3 hours. So if you're going to go to bed at 7, don't drink it at 5 because it's 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is equal to about 2 cups of coffee. It's debatable. Some people say Starbucks has 200 milligrams of caffeine per their thing, or whatever they get their frappuccinos or whatever. But I don't experience that kind of clean energy with those kind of drinks. I wouldn't necessarily drink it past 8 p.m. or, I mean, it really depends on if you're starting work at like, if you're working an evening shift or whatever, it's a pre-workout, you got to understand.
Sure. This
does work and it provides clean energy. I think for me though, since I've been in the energy drink industry for so long, I can just like smash one of these, do something productive, and then like, I'll have no problem finding,
Now I've got to ask, obviously being from downtown, you're the competition, Red Bull, vodka.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that push with Celsius, like Celsius and vodka?
You know what? Technically, we can't really advertise.
I figure, but I had to ask.
But I can tell you that the sparkling orange flavor and vodka, when they're combined, it's just fantastic. What I'm trying to do is
blink twice if you've had one.
There you go. Look at me. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to actually work with a couple different places downtown to actually be able to provide Celsius as an alternative to a Red Bull,
Right.
you know, on a Friday and Saturday night, because San Diego is such a healthy community, and it's filled with fit, like, beautiful people that when they're, you know, and everybody likes to have fun and go out for the most part. When they're sitting there trying to make a decision on what they're going to get, they see the Red Bull. It's everywhere. Red Bull has contracts with everybody. But if they see Celsius in our little coolers, I think that, you know, a lot of times people know about Celsius now at this point. There's still a lot of the market who is unfamiliar with it. But if they have the option to between Celsius and Red Bull, Celsius has 200 milligrams of caffeine versus Red Bull at 80. I think that they're gonna pick that one.
And taste-wise, I don't think that this tastes way better.
You know what? Yeah, there's a flavor for everyone. So there's sparkling orange, sparkling wildberry, and carbonated cola. Then there's also the non-carbonated peach mango green tea and raspberry acai green tea. And all of them mix very well with everything for the most part. What even tastes like really good is if you have 5 of them together in one can, you know, or together in one cup. I mean, try that out.
Yeah,
except for the cola.
You got crazy for
sure,
sure, bro.
You get a little suicide, Celsius suicide.
Celsius suicide.
Yeah, for sure.
And then cost-wise, how does it compare to the other energy drinks? And it's a bit larger can than most energy drinks, for sure.
Yeah, so this 12-ounce can is bigger than a Red Bull 8-ounce can, and it's also a lot smaller than like a Rockstar 16-ounce can. I think this is like a perfect size if somebody's going to drink it. You know, sometimes people will say like, oh, you know, I like drinking, you know, the competition, a Monster, whatever, before I work out, the 0 carb or whatever. But it's 16 ounces, and a lot of times a lot of our demographic is women, and they're like, it's too much to drink, but 12 ounces is pretty much that sweet spot. The price point is between $2 and wherever you go, $5 per
markup,
yeah.
But directly from like
directly from the store. Say if you're going to go to
like
Ralph's,
okay,
or if you're going to get it online, it's around $20 per case, Amazon. But if you're going to go to the store right now, I know that it's on sale at all Ralph's grocery stores. You can find them in the diet section, 2 for $3. So that's that it hasn't gotten that low this year. Usually you can find it 2 for $4, and a lot of times at these Ralph's locations, like the downtown one, they'll have coupons like 50 cents off right there on the shelf. And there's also located in the back cooler over there at that spot. We got all the nutrition stores covered: Nutrimart, NutriShop, Ultimate Sports Nutrition, Nutrition Zone, and you know, a few of the other spots. Sprouts has them right there, and Sprouts I think is on sale for $4 for $5, which is an even better price, which is amazing. But Celsius, it's growing, and you know, as long as I keep on visiting these different accounts and saying hello and getting the word out there, I think it's going to continue. Plus, Russell Simmons, he just bought into the company. He invested about 2 months ago, about $17 million. And since then, Celsius has grown so much more than what it was that it's fantastic. He basically got his network and the Def Jam people to shout out Celsius. He has like this social media camp where he's in charge of paying like all the people who you see on like Vine and Twitter with a huge following. So what he's doing is he'd be like, hey, you know, incorporate Celsius into your stuff. And so they've been doing it. And so like all these celebrities and just people in the media are now seen drinking Celsius because he's part of him and Kimora Lee Simmons. And it's a growing thing. It's also publicly traded, so you can check it out on the stock market. The symbol is CELH, and it's just growing. It's fantastic.
And as a rep, is there a code that you use in order to get credit for it? How does it work from your perspective?
As a rep, I don't know. If you see me on the street or you catch me, pretty much assume that I'm going to have Celsius somewhere nearby, so you can get a free can from me essentially. But you know, I don't sell them. Okay. Yeah, I don't walk around with like a delivery truck or anything. I'm pretty much in charge of just getting it in people's hands and you know, making sure that they try a cold drink.
So are you driving a Celsius truck?
You know, I don't drive a Celsius truck, but I know that they're planning on wrapping, you know, a few cars pretty soon. So I'm excited for that because I do too much driving. I pretty much split my week between here and LA in general. Wow. And so I'm back and forth. They're gonna start. You know, we're gonna get a wrapped car pretty soon, and so you'll see me rolling through these San Diego streets for sure.
Good. We'll try not to make fun of you in your wrap car.
Right. I'll be waving you down.
It's gonna be the Celsius Volt.
Right on, guys. Great stuff. I appreciate it. When we get back, we'll be wrapping up here with Joey Coa, Fresh and Fit Meals, and Donovan of Celsius.